Shout out to John for requesting me this movie to review. This movie was painful to watch, and this movie is dog shit. What the fuck is this movie? Like, honestly, I don't even think you guys were even aware that Jojo made a movie. And if you were aware, I don't think it was even popular, because this movie, it wasn't even great. It was dog shit. Like, even people from IMDb didn't like this movie. Like, the reviews of this isn't great. This movie is so stupid. So I'm going to be discussing All My Friends Are Dead. This title is so annoying to me, because I just watched All of Us Are Dead, a Korean TV show that I highly recommend you watch, because it's proper better. The writing is better than this fucking piece of shit of a movie. And every time I keep saying the title name, I keep thinking it's that name instead, but no, it's All My Friends Are Dead. So I'm going to be discussing that and discussing why this movie sucks. And the reason why I wanted to watch this movie is because Jojo was in it. And I was like, okay, how's Jojo going to act well in this movie? Seeing that I'm not exactly a big fan of Jojo Siwa and the shit she's done. But a part of me kind of feels a little sympathy for her because of how she was brought up in the industry, especially when she was in Dance Moms. And then when I found out that she was in this movie, I was like, what? But then I found out she doesn't even last long in this movie, so I got curious and I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch. And then I watched it after it got recommended to me, and this movie sucks. It's the worst movie, and let's get on with it. How do you describe this intro? Just listen to this intro. It's so interesting, isn't it?
They are the goat. In business, they are the goat. Smoke a goat. Yeah.
Man, I just wanted to see a Universal Studio or a 20th Century Fox. This isn't even funny, this is fucking confusing, it doesn't even make any sense. What has this got to do with the movie? And then we just get breaking news, which is just foreshadowing already what's gonna happen. Let me guess, they get murdered, right?
Shocking discovery, a group of 7 college students found brutally murdered.
Brilliant. We wasted a long intro for something that predictable. So the movie just starts off with a narrator describing Jojo Siwa, and that she's a light for others, and that she's a good friend, and she's always there to save the day or something. But then she has like a breakdown or something over a text message or whatever. And then she runs into the cabin and cries about something, and then she gets shot in the head and dies. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed Jojo Siwa's scene in the movie, because she lasted a full-blown 3 minutes. 3 minutes? No, she lasted about 30 seconds, which is her having her backstory about who she is, and then she ended up dying in the process. Wow. Then the scene just starts off with a group of friends that get a text message about an event that's happening. These characters, they are just not likable characters. I do not give a shit about them. I think I am going to hate them. If you see me not like saying their actual names, it's because I don't know them. Like, I don't know their character's name, or I just do not give a shit. So I decided to just come up with my own nickname for these people. So Sarah can say Sarah, because Sarah's the main character. This girl, I do not know who her name is. I don't know her name is, but I'm just gonna call her Girl Who Can't Act, because if you've seen her acting in this movie, it's not convincing at all. But she ain't the worst one out of them all, but I'm just gonna call her that because she can't act. This girl's gonna be called self-centered because she just cares about herself and doesn't actually care about anyone else, and she's just willing to throw anyone under the bus to save her own skin. That's why I call her self-centered. This guy's just gonna be called emo. He just seems like an emo that I would probably meet, that just goes, "Sup." Yeah. This guy's gonna be called fuckboy because he only cares about himself and he sleeps around with a lot of women. This dude's gonna be called the druggy hippie or hippie druggy. I don't know which one I'm gonna call him. This dude, what should I call this guy? He's gonna be called the guy because I ran out of names. Yeah, I ran out of names, so I'm just gonna call him the guy. So they get a message and it's about Karma Palooza, which is just a bad copy of Karma's a Bitch. I think the writers intentionally made Karma Palooza after Karma's a Bitch. So they meet their friends and they get ready to go to Karma Palooza. The guy comes out and he fancies Sarah, like the way he looks at Sarah, he likes Sarah so much. They put like this really awkward music in the background. I don't know why. It's just unsettling to me. Like, why? Oh, love at first sight. Let's put a really uncomfortable, awkward music and make the tension so awkward and not great.
Really appreciate it. And I hope you come tonight.
You know where that comes from?
Back in the wagon days, they used to put these bells in front of each of the wagons and give your party without incident.
Wow. That was weird, Aaron.
And then Self-Centered comes and she complains, and yeah, she comes across as annoying. Like, I hate her character so much. She's annoying. Then we see Fuckboy's running because he slept with a married woman and he's vlogging it. And this guy is just chasing after him, and the way this guy acts, just listen to the way he acts. At first I thought he said, "You fuck with my life," but he said, "You fuck my wife." And then the wife is like, "Leave him, I love him," and everything. Bro, he's a fuckboy, mate. Fucking hell, he just sleeps around. And then they just talk about Palmapalooza and what just happened. And if you look at them, you get the vibe that they are just clearly TikTok influencers. The ones that I avoid on TikTok because they come across as annoying. And then they just have fun in the car while they are heading to Palmapalooza. Self-Centered calls her a creepy agent, just FaceTimes him. And he thinks that she's being sex trafficked for some fucking reason. And then he says, "Say something racist to tell me you're okay."
You in a van? Yeah. Are you being sex trafficked right now? Say something racist so I know you're okay.
And if she's not safe, does she have to say something racist? Like, why would she say that? Like, what? What's her saying racist gonna do? Like, even if she was kidnapped, right, that's not gonna stop them. But anyway, he takes a liking to Sarah and he's like, "Ooh, who is this lovely girl?" And he just acts creepy around her. Then as she's FaceTiming her agent, the tire gets busted and they are now stuck in the middle of nowhere with a busted tire, thinking how the hell they're gonna get to Palmapalooza because they're gonna be late. A policewoman comes and she talks to the teenagers because she sees the tire has been busted, and she offers to help them with the tire, but she's like, "It's gonna take a while, so you need to find a place to stay while I get backup to help you with the tire and everything." She's like, "You need to stay somewhere since Palmapalooza is too far," and she offers them a ride, and they get in the car, and they look like they're in a clown car because of how many there is. There's like 6 of them in a clown car. This dude attempts to flirt with the policewoman, but he sucks. Like, he has no game. What are you doing? Like, just stop. Then they find a house and they break into it in the middle of nowhere. I know the policewoman was like, "You should stay somewhere," but it's in the middle of the woods, right? There's like an abandoned house, and as far as I'm aware, right, I look at this and I'm like, somebody obviously lives there. So, and they've just broken into a house not knowing that this person could have machetes, knives, a bunch of weapons in case intruders break in. No, they just break in. Self-Centered's like, "I'm worried about this house." And at first I was about to agree with her, being like, "Yeah, there's something a bit odd about this house," but no. Not because it's abandoned or it's in the woods. She's worried because the house doesn't have a swimming pool in it. Yeah, that's what she says. The house doesn't have a swimming pool in it. Like, there's no pool or anything. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to stay with her if we were in the middle of the woods. Fucking, if I found an abandoned place, yeah, I'd love to fucking stay with her and just be like, "Yeah, this house gives me creepy vibes because there's no fucking swimming pool." So they unpack, they get ready to take some shots, and the shots are the 7 deadly sins. They're like shot glasses with each 7 deadly sins, and they take shots and they are given each sin, and each shot tells them their sins, and there's a camera. Somebody is spying on them. We are like 20 minutes in the movie.
To shy away from knowing them is a mistake and a trap. All too ready to ensure even the most well-intentioned man, woman, or even child. So vulnerable mind, so insatiable coveting of excess. There is more than enough to go around for all.
This is the intro. Why isn't this in the beginning? This takes so much of the runtime and it goes on for way too long, and we're already 20 minutes in and I don't even know what the fuck is happening at the moment. After that long intro, Sarah and Self-Centered take pictures in the pool, and talk about Sarah, and they want to get to know her, you know, where she came from and why she wanted to hang out with them, blah blah blah. So after they take pictures, there's a CCTV of someone staring at Sarah and the self-centered girl, and there are cameras everywhere, and it's obvious that the group are being spied on. So Sarah comes in, Footboy takes a photo of Sarah in the bikini, sends it to the guy, and the guy gets very like hyper, like he's also kind of paranoid because he thinks Footboy is going to fuck Sarah. But unfortunately, because he sent a voicemail, right, he put it on loudspeaker, and an old woman just heard him say all of this.
Don't bang her with your dick. Would you like me to search the web?
The majority of the movie is just them just taking selfies and discussing Karmapalooza and getting high and wasted. This is just so boring that I don't even want to talk about it, because this is what they spend the majority of 10 minutes doing. They just literally just get high, and wow. The druggy hippie decides to leave because he sees an event on his phone, and he decides to just go. He goes, right, what he's doing this like weird dance because he's on weed or whatever he took, and he communicates with a squirrel that talks to him as well. Like, this is just like, what is this?
The goat. Much longer. I'm hooking up with some prime tail later. I'm getting thirsty as fuck. Where's that ride?
And flag what?
Fucking lame, bro. I got a jet. See you at the show.
Then he gets tased and kidnapped by a unknown figure, and then he's in the room and he wears a mask, and he's shown pictures of Jojo Siwa smiling. He begs to be freed by the unknown figure, but the unknown figure puts something into his system and his belly just gets bigger and bigger, and he explodes and dies. I'm going to assume he just died of an overdose. Meanwhile, the group are just playing spin the bottle, and two of them decide to go and make out while their friends just sit down and just wait in the most awkward way possible. And then the self-centered girl says to the footboy, she goes, is that recorded? And he's like, no. But then for some reason, the self-centered girl is like, recorded making out. And I'm like, why? What? This is awkward because their friends are just downstairs. Self-centered, hears something, and then shows the group the unknown person. And then, so Jojo sends them a message, and it's strange because Sarah doesn't even know Jojo Siwa, so I don't know how that's even possible. But you know what, right? I can't keep calling her Jojo Siwa in this movie. What was her name in the movie? What was the character's name in the movie? Colette. Her name's Colette in the movie? Really? Jojo Siwa sends the group a message. The emo guy recognized Jojo. He's like, she was a freshman in our school. We used to hang out with her. And then they just take us to a flashback of like who Jojo was to them. And Self-Centered and Jojo fell out because Jojo fancied Self-Centered and Footboy, but they didn't feel the same way. And then Self-Centered started like resenting her for it and hating her because she didn't want to be in a relationship with Jojo. That's the same footage, but just different flashbacks. Self-Centered just decides to take her anger on everyone instead of just taking accountability because she's the sole reason why Jojo died. Especially Sarah, when Sarah asks her valid questions on who Jojo Siwa was to them and why Sarah is suddenly getting the message to them, because Sarah wasn't friends with them till after Jojo died. And because of all the arguing and because Self-Centered will just practically just blame each of the friend for Jojo's death, especially the girl who can't act. And because of this, the girl who can't act and Self-Centered have a fight, and Self-Centered's like, fuck you, and then the girl who can't act goes, fuck you, I'm leaving, I'm done with you guys, and she just goes upstairs and packs her bags and leaves. And then she talks to Sarah about Jojo, about what happened, and that Self-Centered and Jojo were a thing, and Jojo got played and Self-Centered didn't even apologize. So they were apparently a thing and Jojo got played. So that's why the group are angry. So the girl who can't act decides to leave because she's just had enough of all of this. She doesn't want to talk to Self-Centered. She just had enough. She doesn't want to bring up the story again. So she leaves and she walks in the dark road but gets kidnapped, and the person who kidnaps her, LED mask, and it has a picture of Jojo's face in it, just laughing. Sarah comes in and she's looking for a necklace, and she asks if anyone's seen her necklace, but they deny it. But it turns out Footboy has her necklace because, again, he just wants to shag Sarah. Like, he just wants to wind up the guy for it, so he wants to wind him up. Don't know why. Also, he also says some like awful things about Self-Centered, saying that she's like crazy and that he never liked her, and that her and Self-Centered were just hooking up, nothing more. So, and then she hears this and she gets upset. The girl who can't act is tied up, and an unknown figure messages her friends and show her the picture of Jojo Siwa smiling again, and they vote if the girl who can't act will live or die. If she lives, she gets to go free. If she dies, she'll get poured with a bunch of acid on her face. So they vote and she does live, but then the unknown figure double crosses her and puts she dies, and then she gets covered with acid and dies. And the agent is on live as well, and he's also encouraging this behaviour, so makes it better. Self-Centered decides to slag off Sarah's weight and basically tells Emo that she doesn't eat much. Like, Sarah doesn't eat much. She's bulimic, and I'm like, what a bitch. What an actual bitch. What the fuck? So then Sarah calls the guy and asks him for a ride, and he's like, yeah, I'll come. You know, him being a simp for her. Then Emo tells her that Self-Centered told him about Sarah not eating much, and yeah, they have another fight again. Brilliant. This whole movie has just been practically them just fighting. And then Footboy is like, I'm gonna go and check if she's okay. He goes after her, and then he wants to make her feel better by putting seductive music and trying to fuck Sarah. So he prepares to seduce her, and then the unknown figure pepper sprays him and then stabs him in the balls and then shoves a male sex toy in his mouth and then hits him with the bat and it kills him. Yeah, that's how he dies. So Self-Centered just does a complete 180 and decides to make a move on Emo because she wants to have fun and because she's jealous because Fuckboy and Sarah are apparently having sex, and he sees this and he laughs and he's wondering where Sarah is, but then Self-Centered says, by the way, Sarah and Footboy are upstairs, like, if you want to know. And he gets pissed because he's like, I brought some drugs with me. And then he runs to go and find them. And then he witnesses Footboy's dead body and then he screams. They all run to find out why he's screaming. And then Self-Centered screams, not because the Footboy was dead. No, because Footboy was 36 years old. Yes, it's a bit weird for a 36-year-old man to hang out with an 18-year-old girl and a bunch of high schoolers, but they wonder what the fuck is going on, and they go down to investigate and see videos of themselves bullying Jojo Siwa. And Sarah wants to know what the fuck's going on, and they explain to her with a really long story, saying that Jojo sent nudes to Self-Centered, and she shared it online, and everyone saw this, and then because of this, Jojo got really sad, ran into the woods, killed herself apparently, and then wrote everyone's name next to her dead body. And then they saw this, and then they decided to burn the cabin down because they didn't want any evidence traced back to them. So then Sarah gets mad and she blames this on everyone who was involved. They have a fight on who killed Jojo, and then they hear another noise. So they investigate and they see the 7 deadly sins, and it has everyone's names on it and the picture. Pride is Self-Centered. Envy is the guy. Gluttony is the druggy hippie. Greed is the girl who can't act. Sloth is the emo guy. Lust is the fuckboy. And then we have Wrath, which is Sarah. So the emo guy is like, fuck this, I don't want to die. And then he runs off, but then he gets stabbed by an axe by the unknown figure with a picture of Jojo Siwa's face on it, just laughing, which isn't annoying in this movie at all. And then he gets his head decapitated as well while they are running, looking for a place to hide. They look for a way to escape. The guy sees the girl who can't act and she's alive, but then he vomits blood and then she gets killed, and he decides to sacrifice himself so they can escape. And I'm like, why do that? And then this guy says like, please don't kill me, even though he wanted to sacrifice himself a minute ago, but he was like, please don't kill me because I can't die as a virgin. Like, I haven't had sex yet. I need to die after I've had sex. And I'm like, what? Like, what? What? This movie is so stupid. Like, so many stupid dialogues in this movie. What the fuck is this? Self-centered does like this really stupid thing by making out with the guy and just being like, I'm sorry, and then just lets the guy get stabbed. Is there any fucking point of trying to explain this? No. So he gets his eye impaled as well, and then he gets his belly cut open and his organs come out, and then self-centers his organs and intestines and then throws it at the unknown figure and does a complete 180 and just has a fight with the unknown figure. Like, why am I even surprised? Why am I even surprised? I have no words for this. You know what? Let her do her thing, whatever. So, it turns out that the police woman is the unknown figure. Wow, the killer is the cop. So, she's like, why did you kill my friends? Because your friends deserved it. And yeah, like, they're also assholes for killing Jojo Siwa. Then she's like, Sarah, come help me. We're gonna kill her. And then Sarah does a complete 180 as well. Slits self-centered's neck, and then it turns out she's working with the cop as well. She's the bad guy in all of this all along, and she just slits her throat, explains why she did what she did, and that self-centered broke her heart so badly to the point that Sarah wanted to kill herself. Then the cop stopped her. They planned to get revenge for Jojo's death by coming up with 7 deadly sins, and she did all of this because Jojo was close friends with them, and Jojo was upset because of what happened, because of the nudes and her fancying the fuckboy and self-centered, to the point now where Sarah ended up witnessing Jojo's death. She's just been plotting a plan against them this whole time and trying to act like she's the good one in all of them, but really she's the evil one. Self-centered, gets mad, tries to fight back, but dies. And wow, that's a great way to die. Lovely. Yeah, wow. I don't know how she managed to survive after getting her throat constantly slit and there was so much blood coming out of it. So then they have like a long speech of their plan, getting revenge on the group for killing Jojo Siwa. There's a lot of flashbacks in this movie. Jeez, there is so many flashbacks in this movie. There's about like 5 flashbacks. So they also plan their explanation for the police, because obviously the police are gonna see this shit and they need to figure out how to get away with murder. And guess what? Her and the policewoman are also in a relationship as well. Wow, really? Really? I didn't know that. I absolutely didn't know that. Like, I didn't know they were in a relationship this whole time. Yeah, they didn't confirm it, but like, I immediately guessed the way they were looking at each other, like, obviously. So the cops investigate what happened, and Sarah talks about what the group did to Jojo, and then the cop figures something out. Something very strange. If everyone was involved of burning the place down, and there's a video, right? Who took the video? Because the video was recorded. Like, someone recorded the video of them. It turns out that Sarah killed Jojo Siwa, not the group. Sarah was intending to kill the self-centered girl, but Jojo found out, ran back to the cabin to stop Sarah from killing self-centered, but Sarah accidentally shot her friend. What the fuck is this? That's the plot twist, guys. That's the plot twist. What the fuck is this plot twist? That's the reason why Jojo was bullied. So Jojo was bullied, but Jojo was willing to forgive them. But then Sarah was like, why? Like, why? Because she was pissed off that even after all of this, the group and Jojo was willing to be friends again. So Sarah was like, fuck this. She was like, I'm gonna fucking kill self-centered, accidentally kill Jojo Siwa, and then frame the group by carving their names next to Jojo's dead body, so that they can be framed for Jojo's murder. That's the plot twist. That's the plot twist of this whole movie. Oh god, who fucking wrote this and thought this was a good idea? It's not even a good plot twist. So then the detectives are still investigating the murders, and then one of them takes a picture of the clues and then finds a tattoo, and the cop has the same tattoo. While Sarah and the cop are just like having a moment, Sarah just double crosses the cop by taking her gun. Just becomes a lunatic now. She just becomes crazy and goes, haha. The cop takes back her gun. Another cop sees the cop pointing the gun at Sarah. That's what the detective thinks. The detective thinks that the cop is going to kill Sarah. And then Sarah just pretends that she is being like held at gunpoint by the cop. And then the cop tries to shoot Sarah. But then the cop dies. The detective kills the cop. And she gets a bullet on her head. And then Sarah gets away with murder. And says her last line, which is, "All of my friends are dead." And then the movie just ends. Yeah, that's the end. Oh wait, no it isn't, sorry. So we get Sarah on the phone talking to the agent, the creepy agent, about being a survivor and offers her a job, but she rejects it. And then the movie just ends, guys. No it isn't, it doesn't end, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And then we get breaking news about 7 bodies. So if you just skip the breaking news because it's just boring, Sarah gets a call from the unknown figure and that she's pissed him off. Everyone that she knows is dead. And then that's the end. I'm being serious. It is the end. Yeah, it's the end. Yeah, that's all my friends are dead. This was a very odd movie. This was so weird. What a weird movie. Let's talk about how shit the writing is. What can I say about the writing? The writing is poor, ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. The fact that Sarah was the one who killed Jojo, not her friends, it's confusing and boring. Like, most of the runtime is just spent on them getting high and taking photos for TikTok. The beginning, what the hell was that? It's just constant flashbacks. And then they just like spend time talking about how she is always there and always sheds a light to people. Like, wow. Great. Well done. I could create a crappy backstory for you. Like, fuck this beginning backstory. Let me recreate Jojo's friend's speech on her. Like, this one's crap. Let me show you an even crappier one. You may have heard this person before on Dance Moms and TikTok. The friend who is annoying and a pain in the ass. The one who barely defended and got bitch slapped that night. The one who acts like she's better than others. It was a tragedy when we shared our blood. Our hypocrisy made me feel like shit. Then Calm as a Bitch came, and that changed everything, and the dislikes destroyed it. She was full of pain, so much only to be obliterated by an imposter, because someone or something was sick of hearing Calm as a bitch 100 times. There you go, there's a crappy recreation of her backstory for you. It's not exactly 100% accurate, but who cares? The characters. Man, these characters suck. Like I said, they're social media influencers you would avoid on TikTok and Snapchat. Who do we have? Sarah. She does a complete 180 and becomes the protagonist, becoming the female version of Michael Myers with her cop girlfriend. Her character could have been executed better, you know. For instance, she getting the revenge on the group for something she did by accident. It's better if you just left it as, oh, the group did it, so that Sarah could get her revenge and, you know, kill them all. It still wouldn't be great because it'd just be like, you know, the stereotypical mystery movie that you would usually see. Like, character could have been executed better, you know, in these movies. Who else do we have? Girl who can't act. Okay, so I was a little bit harsh calling her that because she's not the worst actress in this movie. I would say like 90% of these characters have terrible acting in this. Like, it's just so bad. Like, she ain't the worst character in this movie. Like, she's not that bad, she's just not good. I'm sorry. Self-centered is probably the most annoying one of them all. I thought Fuckboy was bad. No, she's worse. She's 10 times worse. She comes across as annoying, blames people for her own mistakes, to the point where you're like, she did kill Jojo. She might have just killed Jojo, like, why didn't they just get her to kill Jojo? I mean, she did have a vendetta against her, so... But then does a complete 180. Like, did you see the way she fought that cop? Lol, the way she died as well. What the... She's so bad it makes Jojo Siwa look like an angel in this movie. And not even in an ironic way. Who else do we have? Oh yeah, Fuckboy, the 36-year-old man. He just sleeps around, tries to fuck Sarah half the time, but in the end, he gets a sex toy shoved in his mouth and dies. Couldn't think of a better way for him to die, in my opinion. Then we have the hippie druggie. He reminds me of one of those hippies you would see on crack, thinking that they're tough, but they're not convincing. It's actually quite sad. Then we have the guy. He tries to chat up a girl, you know, tries to chat up Sarah, but he's like the guy that would try to approach a girl that he has a crush on and just go hi in like a really nervous way, stares at the girl for a second and then runs off, leaving the woman confused, wondering what the fuck was that. Okay, Jojo's character, wasted in my opinion. She only lasted 30 seconds in the movie and The rest of her clips were just flashbacks, constant repeated flashbacks, just reusing the same picture of her like 10 times, to the point where I was just like, this is fucking lazy. Like, they didn't even give her that much screen time. They just kept reusing the same footage over and over again for Jojo, that she's going to be in the movie, but if she's not even going to last long in it. So, because in the end she died in the beginning, and I was like, well, wow, that's like the amount of screen time she got. Brilliant. So yeah, her character, I mean, what can I say about it? I mean, it's Jojo. What do you want me to say? Like, she was good? Yeah, probably if she was in the movie a lot longer, but nah. I completely forgot about the other dude, emo guy. I did say the girl who can't act is terrible at acting, but I think he's worse. I think he's worse. He's just really uninteresting. He's not a nice character. He comes across as just boring, in my opinion. He kind of enables social media influencers like Self-Centered and Footboy to become bitches and assholes in this movie. Like, in my opinion, that's what I think. So there's just a lot of cast that I don't care about, or they're just pointless. Like, I think the only one I actually care about is Sarah in this movie. But then again, I'm like, they're not that likable characters. I don't really care about them. So who cares? The acting, I've already mentioned. The girl who can't act in this movie, her acting isn't the worst. I mean, have you seen the others acting? Like, look at the way they act. They talk like typical social media influencers that bully people because they are big and hard, but in reality they probably don't even know what 1+1 is. Look, this isn't a diss to all influencers. You're probably lovely. I just hate these type of influencers in these movies particularly. The acting for Sarah is okay, maybe the cop and detective, but the rest are just shit. Even the angry husband is just, his acting isn't even good either, it's just terrible. Overall the acting is dog wank shit, and it's painful to watch in my opinion. Favorite part of movies is the CGI bollocks. And they've also added rubbish kills as well, because I feel like the kills and the CGI bollocks are somehow like linked together in this movie. I mean, there's not much to say on the CGI, just that the blood looks shit. This is the weirdest kills I've ever seen, and it doesn't help that the CGI blood makes it worse as well. And then we have the pacing in this movie. Do you know the 3-act structure in this movie? You know, they keep the 3-act structure as it is, like, you know, setup, confrontation, resolution. It's so boring, like the writing is so basic and poor, like it doesn't help that the pacing is even worse. We get Act 1, the setup. We get the arrival and party setup. So what happens? A group arrives, jokes, flies, drinking, and a mysterious secret is hinted at. The movie is so fast paced, makes the audience barely know who's before the party chaos begins. Like, there's no depth build up. They come across as stereotypical and there's no reason to care. And the dark past is teased but never used to build suspense earlier. Then we get Act 2, confrontation. First death and group panic. So we get the confrontation of Act 2. What happened? A body is found, the group argues, split up, and paranoia kicks in. A vague flashback is shown. Flashbacks are just repetitive, using the same footage like 100 times. The amount of times I got pissed off watching this movie because there was so many flashbacks to this movie. This movie, like, this is what I know. I think I noticed this like halfway through the movie, that the flashbacks were just so repetitive. Like, it felt like I was rewatching the same scene of Jojo just smiling at the camera. I was like, I've already seen this scene before. Like, show me something different. Like, no one cares. Then we get characters arguing, blaming each other, and then going back to the flashback, and then they repeat the same thing again, arguing, blaming each other, going into flashbacks, and then there's another loop. It's just a loop that it just doesn't end. Oh, Jojo getting bullied, runs into the woods to her cabin, gets killed, cremated. Then we need to know who killed her. And then we find out that the group killed her, but wait, plot twist, Sarah did it by accident, framed the group for Jojo's murder. Like, I've heard this mystery in movies before somewhere, I just can't remember what, but I feel like they've just copied it from a stereotypical movie. Act 3, the killer reveals a final flight, resolution. The motive isn't even strong or believable. The kills happen far too quick, especially the final death, because the remainder of the film is just this. Yeah, this is literally the next 10 minutes of this film before it ends. It's just them literally discussing the flashback. The deaths have already happened, why don't we just end the film right now? But no, they're just like, no, we're gonna keep it another 10 minutes. Let's drag this movie even longer. Let's just pad through time. Like, who cares? The story just ends with the killer succeeding and not going to prison for manslaughter. I say manslaughter because she didn't intend to kill Jojo Siwa. I mean, she did kill the group in cold blood and the cop, but with Jojo Siwa it was an accident. Like, I kind of understand that. I know, so Jojo made a movie and a lot of people weren't even aware of this. I don't even think anyone was even aware of this, because I tried looking it up to see if anybody had done a reaction to this, and I only found Curse's video on this, and he didn't even make a full review on this. He was like, I couldn't be arsed, and to be honest, I don't blame him. I don't think anyone would want to make a reaction watching this movie, because this movie is painful to watch. But yeah, I think her intention was trying to not make this public, like full on public. But fuck you, Jojo. I'm making this public for the whole world to see. Ha! Because I don't care, and yeah, I don't fucking care. Please, not another movie. If I find out Jojo's made another movie like this, I'll scream. Thank you for watching my video on this, and if you liked my video on this, please give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!